Welcome, everyone. You've just tuned into a life-changing presentation. I'm going to explain how to use the Anahata codes. I am your host and the channel of the assisting frequencies, which are known as the law of attraction of energy medicine. And I am just thrilled and overflowing with gratitude that we are all converged today. It's an auspicious gateway with the full moon energy in Taurus, which we'll explore later. And we've been magnetized through our mutual asking to become masters of attunement. We are going to allow the power which has been given to us from Source in order to co-create the world we each experience as a fractal of the point which began it all. We do this effortlessly and subconsciously, but man, does our life shift when we do so consciously and with intention. Now, many of you have been awakening steadily since 2012, and some of you are just beginning to get these random divine synchronicities that you can no longer deny. And it really doesn't matter much when. It is the eventual emergence of all which will find us each co-creating within the ascended timelines of the fifth dimension and beyond. But for now, while others emerge, this matrix of matter that we find ourselves in is very convincing. I think you would agree. We, in our polar world of matter, are hyper-focused on that 0.01%. And it's very illusional. We tend to make a big deal about what is and pay little attention to what is becoming. That's going to change for you today. It is our beautiful gift to be given free will to carve matter from thoughts, and that the universe compiles those raw components through our vibrational asking is simply extraordinary. This means the world is literally our oyster. Today, together, we upgrade through resonance remembrance. So you're in the right place if you understand at a basic level that we are mostly energy and information, in fact, 99.9. And that because we are connected to all things, we have access to all things. Now, the kicker, which I'm going to explain here in a moment, is that the physical presence of the thing that you wish to align with is not necessary in order for you to leverage its essence. In fact, nothing is present before it's created. Everything becomes, okay? From the energy and vibration of conscious thought, all things become. So you're in the right place if you want to leverage this new biotechnology, which is quickly spreading across the globe as we remember who we are and what we have access to. You're in the right place if you have downloaded the Anahata codes and you just aren't sure how to pull a code and activate it. Or if you still get confused with those rows and columns and what the heck they mean. And so I am so excited that you have joined from all around the world. I see in the chat feed that we've got multiple, 4 or 5 at least continents represented. So exciting. And we've converged so that I can share with you how to use your God-given unity technology is what I'm calling it. It is a technology. And I can't believe we have let it atrophy for so long through our lack of remembrance. And it's so exciting as we emerge and unveil into the new world. We are going to use this unity technology to align with your desires in their absence. That's the key. Thereby making it manifest. We are going to gracefully shift focus from the is of your reality, that is what is happening right now, because that's old news. Because when we observe versus co-create, we pinch ourselves off and we prevent what we desire from manifesting through focus on the absence. So instead, we're going to focus on the alignment with the vibrational essence of what you desire first. And of course, this is accomplished through using the law of attraction of energy medicine, aka Anahata codes. And guys, I'm not overstating it when I say this workshop will literally transform any aspect of your life if you apply the information. So I'm going to be moving fast. We're going to cover a lot of space quickly. This replay will be available for a limited time. Now, a few people, one person in the chat room has said that I'm cutting out every other minute. That is your connection, unfortunately, Ali. I'm sorry. If you could log out and in again, and if you need to just attend the replay, that may be best for you. As I said before, I'm in a vortex energy here on the southwest side of Florida, and the internet is not very stable where I'm at, ever. And so we're just going to do the best I can and trust that all will be recorded. And if you need to listen back to the recording and it's not working live, no worries. But again, log in and out and you should be okay. Okay, guys. Let us proceed with what we're going to learn today. It's a lot, as I said. We're going to be moving fast. Specifically, we're going to learn about the truth behind the law of attraction and why it doesn't work for most people. I'm going to share with you how to use the laws of the universe to receive anything you desire: health, wealth, passion, love, success, bliss, and more. I'm going to explain the options you have to activate evolutionary DNA and dynamic self-healing. I'm going to show you how to use the codes, which are the law of attraction of energy medicine, so that you can tap into the precise frequency your body needs, again, to align with any desire, and so it is. I will be taking live concerns and or desires, it could be you, and pull a few codes at the end of the workshop. Also, I'm going to be inviting you to take a deeper dive with me over a 5-week period by enrolling in my masterclass series, where you're going to receive more training on this ancient wisdom, which has the power to transform not only your life, but those who you choose to affect through your reflection of the technology. And you're going to want to stay to the end because there is an amazing bonus I'm offering today that is going to further clarify your asking by providing you with a range of skillfully crafted questions which you can ask in order to pull the code you need for health, wealth, joy, and relationships. All right? So let's get going. If you aren't familiar with who I am, oh, good. I'm so glad everything is okay now, Ali. And if anyone in the chat room sees someone else having an issue, please do type out there for me that you can log in and out again, and usually that does it with a connection. Okay, so I am very human. My story is so similar to a lot of people's pain and struggle on their way to awakening. I want to introduce myself. Some of you don't even know what the Anahata codes are. I am the channel of assisting frequencies that are used for holistic health and ascension support. They are known as the Anahata codes. There are thousands of users around the globe and dozens of certified Anahata code practitioners. It is the law of attraction of energy medicine, and we're going to find out later why. What happened to me was I was laid off from my corporate job of almost 8 years, having been in the marketing arena for 17. And suddenly, without warning, I had no job, and I found myself with absolutely no prospects, mainly because my energy did not align with corporate America anymore. I did not want to work for someone else. I just had a baby, my only child, and I had always wanted to be a mother. And so it was like I was torn. I wanted to stay at home with my child, but I was the breadwinner. And eventually the discord was no more. They let me go. They laid me off. And the problem was I didn't have a master's degree. And long story short, I couldn't go back to school at the time, wasn't willing to take a pay cut. My heart was no longer in my job. And so it was literally sucking the life force from me, and I was depleted and lost. And guys, if this is you, this workshop's going to assist you. It's all going to be okay. Trust me. In the valley, you will find the peak and rise above. So I knew, being a Christian, that there was a path of least resistance that God had planned for me that was the most fast and efficient way to effortlessly reach my destiny. And I made a conscious choice to surrender. I didn't want to swim because that would be a struggle upstream. I didn't want to sink because I'm not the type to give up. And instead, I just decided to let go and float, okay, because I knew I didn't have the answers. And I completely surrendered. What happened next was extraordinary. I asked, literally, out loud, and I teach this of all my students, ask. Ask, ask, ask. Ask vibrationally, but ask audibly with your voice, and you shall receive. And that's what occurred to me. I received a divine download through this surrender, and I could feel it coming. It was at the edge of my energy field, and one night I got sick of feeling butterflies in my sacral chakra for the entire week that I said, "What do you want me to know?" And as soon as my head hit the pillow, everything was there. It was like I read a book without having to read it. And so I call it a divine download because it was all kind of downloaded into my consciousness. And it was my grid filling in. And throughout today's light activations, you are going to be naturally assisted in aligning with what you asked for through the grid filling in. Your inner calling is the momentum to achieving that alignment. Inspiration to do things like attend this workshop is your grid filling in with the vibrational frequencies you need to achieve your goals, whatever those goals are, to become a match to them, to make them manifest. And we're going to explore this in just a minute. So what was my divine download? It was super simple, and yet a lot of people would do nothing with the information. And it was that because we are connected to all things, we have access to all things. But again, the kicker was without having to have them physically present, because everything except for 0.01%, think about that, guys, 99.99% of everything is in wave form, energy and information, weaving as waves. Nothing is really solid. And yet we are hyper-focused on this 0.01% that we can see, taste, touch, smell, feel. We are looking through a pinhole, folks. And from the unity of our cosmic soup, this divine fabric of space-time that unites us all, there is an entirely new energy medicine modality which has emerged called the Anahata codes, pulling from the quantum field the raw components, which, when compiled in the right order, manifest into matter through their vibrational signature. Now, again, I say, you may receive this information and go, yeah, who cares? But boy, did I keep asking. I was like, ask, align, allow, ask, align, allow. And now it is my joy and bliss to help you get up to speed with this technology, with your God-given ability to harness and activate anything in the universe which has ever been defined, in order to activate profound and limitless potential, evolutionary growth, and new timelines. How cool is that? At any given now moment, you have infinite timeline potentiality. You need only choose. You are that powerful, and you are ready. You are worthy. It is time. Let us go ahead and set the sacred space in this unification of purpose, of unfolding, which is about to receive. Vasafi, there is no camera on me. It is a slideshow presentation. If you are looking for if you are calling in, you'll only see the audio. There are slides that are being presented simultaneously. Do use the event link and log in using the event link versus the phone if you want to see the slides that accompany the presentation. Otherwise, audio only is okay. And yes, thank you, Ralika, audio only with these slides. All right, guys, so let us set our sacred space. We ground our energy. We feel our solidity. We breathe. Air circulates in our lungs and through the meridians of our body. This gentle ebb and flow, Creator's breath within us, merging in and out of the quantum field of unity, which connects all things. We feel satisfaction, love, admiration, excitement, joy, peace, anticipation as we allow this great unfolding. Through our intention to align with source, consciousness, and unconditional love, we immediately elevate into a high vibratory space which sanctifies the rooms in which we reside instantaneously. And we focus in on the center of our heart and the tether which beacons out from that. We see that there is a strong tether that goes right into the center of Gaia as we allow now any distraction to just fall down into Gaia, who receives it for transmutation. With gratitude, we bless that which has been a distraction or discomfort as it goes, for it has birthed within us desire for change and expansion and creation. Receiving now this raw, potent power from the center of Gaia coming up as each of our cells are replenished, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, now overflowing every cell, optimizing, strengthening, replenishing. Breathing this now and cycling this knowing through all aspects of our emotional layer, mental layer, spiritual layer, and of course, our physical. We appreciate these vehicles which we are in that we call our physical bodies, and we allow our beautiful ego minds to just be, and to just allow our hearts to take center stage as we remember who we are, why we're here, and our power as co-creators to create and anchor in this new dimension of peace, joy, and evolution. Now place your hands on your heart and breathe. It is so. All right, guys. I hope that was good for you. It is important to set your sacred space before tapping into divine intelligence, because there are many forces within our 3D world which do impose false truths, distractions. They can be confusing, derailing, draining, and we've got to sanctify the space, okay? And I do teach you how to set the sacred space in my masterclass series, which I'll be inviting you all to later. Let's dive right into how to use the law of attraction of energy medicine. And I'm going to first give you an upgrade in reality by filling you in on a few things about how things work. Most of this is a remembrance, but I really want you to marinate in this knowing. And that is the things that are being created in every second of our own individual now is our own reality. And your truth is your truth because it's your truth. And you are calling forth the raw components of that truth to you. It's called the law of attraction. So you are right, and you are right, and you are right, and you are right. And there's only one time point that is relevant, okay? The past is gone. The future is never arriving. It is now, now, now. It's the ever-progressing now moment. And that's our only vantage point of creation. Some call it the infinite now. Now, unfortunately, humans, we are so focused upon, again, that 0.01% of what we can see, taste, touch, smell, and otherwise experience in solid form, that, as I said, we are viewing reality through a very small pinhole. What is right now at this moment, vibrationally, is the past, because there is a lag in our dimension. Nothing spontaneously appears. Now, as we become masters and ascend into higher ranges of vibration, things will certainly do so. But I, for one, am grateful that things don't spontaneously happen due to our inability to focus on the future transcendent of the past. We would destroy ourselves before breakfast if that's how things manifested in our world, if they were instantaneous, right? If you got angry in traffic and you'd be busting people off the road and they'd be dying, right? No, we don't want that. We want time to think about what we really want to choose and to really understand our power of attraction, and that it is all from within. So the now moment is in a state of perpetual potential. It hasn't happened yet. That means we've got to get good at the absence of what we desire, because it's not here yet. And we are drawing to us in the now what we will then experience later. But what we see, taste, touch, smell, feel, our reality, is already old news. But here's the thing. So many people end up feeling like the world is happening to them versus through them because of this lag, and they end up looping around their disappointment, their traumas, their current situations, because they can't stop witnessing reality as fact and cycling it into being through witnessing, okay? And then there's the way that our anatomy is set up, and we are physically, on a chemical level, addicted to our pain cycles. I know it sounds so strange, but we are. The drama, the trauma, the scars, the limitations, we argue for them. We're justifying our current situations as having happened to us as if we have had nothing to do with them. And this is giving our power away. This places us in our cycles of dysfunction, leaving no desire or even energy to rise above circumstance and take back our power, because we don't have any. So here's the deal. In order to carve matter consciously as the creator that you are, what is in your reality, what you're witnessing, needs only be a leverage point. Good or bad, right or wrong, up, down, doesn't matter. Either it's to inspire us away from something we don't desire, which is just as much of a blessing, or to allow us to bask in the gratitude of what has manifested. And so in English, we need to stop regurgitating our pain through focusing and perpetuating it, and get on with using the contrast as a springboard, not a death sentence, okay? And you can do it, and the more you do it, the easier it will be. If this stirs doubt or fear within you, to think that you have this much quote-unquote control, that's good. Use that momentum because, guys, it doesn't matter what end of the wave you're on. Both alignment with source as you reach more and the contrast of not having what you desire is the momentum that's needed to carve your path. So we live in a world of vibration. Nothing is solid. We are interpreting our reality, but it's already in the past. It is from the now vibration, which we will call forth what we will experience. And so it becomes. And you got to be okay with absence. You got to be okay with being joyful now in the absence of what you desire in order to manifest the timelines of your dreams. Happiness now, not when. Joy in the journey to it, not in the destination. I'm going to help you to do so. So it's important to understand that the is, as it is experienced, is a combination of mind, body, and soul frequencies. So we're going to go quantum here, okay? I want you to think about this. Even if you know nothing about science, visualize as I'm walking you through this very easy to understand concept. If you zoom in super, super, super close, this is called the quantum level, we are vastly empty space. And now, of course, empty is not adequate. It is not empty. It is filled with energy and information, vibration, frequencies, waves. And our limited senses can only perceive of the 0.01%. But either way, our sight, our senses are just translating vibration. When you taste something, you're translating vibration. When you see things, you're translating vibration. When you feel things, hear things, all vibration translated through your senses. Each thing that you're translating has an energy signature, okay? And we get good at interpreting things that we perceive of through our very limiting senses. But again, guys, it's only making up about 0.01% of what's actually going on. So what is going on? Our autonomic nervous system is completely and infinitely tied to divine intelligence. Complete mind-boggling tasks are being completed every second without our slightest consideration. When I was pregnant, I can't believe how helpful this one book was about each phase, each day, what was happening. And it's like, oh my goodness, I had to coordinate that, epic fail. You know, we live in an intelligent universe where through chance, not even one blade of grass on our planet would be growing if it was all just chance. So this divine matrix of woven information is coordinating everything based on universal laws that have been set up. Primarily with the law of attraction, there is an equal and opposite reaction, cause and effect, cause and effect. What comes to us may appear as a coincidence because there's a lag and a ton of components, but rest assured, these layers and components all had a cause. There was a causality. Cause is action and effect is manifestation. Everything is a choice. You have full capacity for free will. Nothing's being imposed upon you, even when you're in dire straits. You have a choice in the way you interpret what is going on. Now, law of attraction, you get pulled in a lot of directions because our bodies are experiencing one reality, focused on the 0.01%, our minds, another reality, and our souls, yet a third reality. So unless they're all on board with the same asking, we experience discord. We experience a pulling, okay? Our energy is pulled and it is in conflict. We are basically holding ourselves apart from the path of ease and bliss through either our body, our minds, or not in training with our souls. But the important thing to understand is we have gorgeous, infinite intelligent, beautiful navigational systems which tell us when we are aligned and when we aren't. And primarily, they're called our emotions. And if you want to think about the plane of causality residing in our thoughts and our emotions, and the plane of effect arising through physical manifestation then that we can interpret with our senses. That's a good way to do it. So if our thoughts cause our reality to manifest, it's important to understand that there are electromagnetic energies and that for every action there is a consequence. So our feelings are the chemical reactions we experience in response to our thoughts. And when we frame them within experiences from the past, these then become patterns that we live by and through. We live, we feel, we learn, we associate, we judge, we form automatic responses, we play programs, we have beliefs. We begin to wire these programs we play without conscious thought, and we are in a state of perpetual sameness. Of course, our physical body craves familiarity because it's comfortable and safe. And we actually build our entire identity upon these experiences. They become our personalities. They become our personal realities. Even when it's not comfortable or safe, we prefer the familiar. Why? Because we have an ingrained fear of the unknown, of instability, of insecurity. It's a primal desire to have safety. So we become addicted to the patterns of our lives, and they're what defines us, even if they aren't for our highest good. And I'm here to tell you, it feels odd to step beyond your norm. It's going to feel odd because you're choosing a new response. We are conditioned by our ancestors, by our media, by our parents, by our society to act a certain way, be a certain way, get a certain job, do a certain thing. And part of waking up means that we get to consciously choose the reality which we play, the areas of our lives which have been limiting and oppressive no longer have a role in your future if you choose them out, if you choose them to recess and atrophy away. You've got to choose different responses, and that is going to feel odd, just so you know. So we can begin to rewire. That's partially what the Anahata codes help you with the most, is rewiring habitual thoughts which don't serve you, which are activating self-defeating emotions, which are calling forth more of the same cycles of dysfunction which you are pushing against, and through pushing against, you are creating more. So we are gridding our experiences, mind, body, soul. It's not just what has already manifested, which determines what continues to flow with us, flow to us, what we're a match to. It is those beliefs which we have never bothered to challenge, despite the fact that they don't even feel good, that are calling the shots. So we can even begin to judge ourselves for feeling bad. Like, oh, here I go again. So many of us suppress our quote-unquote bad emotions because we've labeled them as incorrect. Guys, it's a navigational cue. Awesomeness. Don't suppress them. Don't send them to shadow. Understand that it's merely asking you to decide how you want to align. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? And guys, when you can do that and honor those things, they go through and flow through much faster, and you're on back into the path of least resistance. So we are co-creating using our minds, bodies, and souls. It's a trinity, a sacred trinity. And you are either creating on default, or you can snap out of it and leverage technology which God has set up in our universe to manifest your desires. So let's explain how to use the law of attraction of energy medicine now that we understand this matrix of energy, this grid on which information flows. And guys, by the way, a grid is a matrix. Some people call the matrix like, this big controlling factor. I'm not referring to the matrix like that. Matrix to me is a grid, and a grid is simply a structure upon which energy flows. So absolutely there are malicious matrices. I don't know what the plural of matrix is. Matri, no. There are such structures, right, that exist to manipulate, control, evoke fear, and coordinate, disempowerment. Absolutely. In illusion and focus and fodder for the things that aren't the path of least resistance. But there are matrices that you build daily, and you're carving your own space. You're calling the shots. You can imagine infinite potentiality ahead of you, and you get to choose the points on which you are walking. You are gridding, you are flowing energy onto grids, okay? You're creating your own path from limitless potentials in every now moment. So there's no point in even wasting an ounce of now moment telling yourself that you did a bad job co-creating, right? Oh, well, where are you standing now? And are you holding yourself apart from what is already yours? So we are magnets, essentially. And a lot of people have forgotten this. We are beacons of electromagnetic communication. We have mind frequencies, which are our thoughts and emotional responses. We have body frequencies, the physical manifestation of those feelings, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, the what is. And of course, we have soul frequencies. This is the energetic aspect of us, which is not bound by mind or body and is always online with source, creator, unity, unconditional love. So the soul frequency is the inner point of unity through which you are connected to creator and a fractal of. The mind frequency is your free will thoughts and emotional responses that you can use to carve matter, and your body frequency is the physicality which manifests as a result of these three grids working together. We can use the what is that we're experiencing to regurgitate patterns or carve new space. We can use what is to remind us of what we want or don't want. And it is all progress forward if we can snap out of the trauma and victimhood, okay? A lot of people denounce the law of attraction. They say, it doesn't work. And this is what I wanted to explain to you. It's working no matter what. If you really dive into the habitual thoughts and emotional patterns of those people who say that the law of attraction doesn't work, it's because they are not satisfied with the reality they've created, and they're holding themselves apart from their bliss, period, in every single case. And they are trapped in victimhood, pain, failure, trauma. I would not have chosen this life, right? This circumstance, this issue. So therefore it doesn't work. Well, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Everyone is experiencing precisely what they are allowing. And as soon as you can get out of victim mode and realize that the way we say yes is through focus. So there is no way to say no. The closest thing we have to saying no in a universe of cause and effect is to withdraw our focus and surrender the things that we have a lot of resistance to. It's to retreating from resistance. It's from not focusing so intently on our pain and suffering. We've got to become masters of allowance, masters of focus. The path of least resistance is always lit up through our body frequencies, and our mind frequencies are always a choice. All right. So, magnetism simply means our thoughts and emotions are coming to us through our experiences. But it is a looping around and around. It's chicken before the egg, before the chicken, before the egg. And it's all old news, what we're experiencing now. That is the point with that. And just remember that the soul is always online. It's not bound by mind or body. And it's the part of us which is beckoning us forth into creating more through passion, desire, expansion, joy, love, ease, bliss. Okay, so let's overlay this knowing using the 3 grids, mind, body, and soul, with the Anahata codes to achieve the results we want. So this is how to use the law of attraction of energy medicine, okay? The first thing you do is ask. I'm going to make sure everyone is still, yep, everyone's good. So step 1 of using the Anahata codes for any desire. You wouldn't believe how many times I get asked, Anahata, is there a code for my cancer? Is there a code for joy? Is there a code for inflammation? Is there a code for arthritis, for depression, for motivation, for clarity, whatever it is? Yes, there's a code for that. The code isn't called clarity, cancer, motivation. The code arises based on what you're asking for vibrationally or with your mouth. So you ask is the first step. And so any concern or desire you have, you just ask. And I'm going to ask you to ask in just a second, and we can read out a few of these, okay? You do automatically this step with your mind, body, and soul. You ask. You are asking vibrationally with your mind. You are asking with your body and your soul. So with the mind, you are asking either for more fear-based experiences or more love-based. Quite plain and simple here. Are you magnetizing your desires, or you're not having by noticing that you don't have what you want? Again, it's a wave. Picture a wave going up and down, up and down. Hot and cold are the same thing. They are just on opposing ends of the pendulum. So it's a severity. It's not a separate thing. This is hot. This is cold. This is temperature. And the ends of it are hot or cold. Where do you lie on your polarity severity? Right? Where are you focused? Are you like most people who go, man, this would be great if, and then as soon as you wish it, you focus on, but I don't have it, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, it's never going to happen, where is it? And all of a sudden you're down in the absence depth, thereby holding yourself apart from what already is an energetic reality. Why? Because your soul has the path. It's there. 99.9% is energy and information. When you have a desire, the components are readily there, ripe for the picking, as long as you can match that frequency. And the only thing that holds you apart from it is focusing on the not having or not being satisfied with where you are because you're not a match. And you see the conundrum. So you're asking vibrationally with your mind, with your body, and your soul is urging you into realizing that it is done. The moment you ask for something you desire, all the raw components of that reality you wish to experience exist all at once because you've conceived of it instantly. And this is why the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. This is why I advocate asking out loud, physically asking. People say, oh, what should I do about this, that, and the other? And I say, have you asked? And they look at me like I have 5 heads. What do you mean? Well, you have to ask. You have to become a vibrational match. And you do so through voicing your desire, and then the next step, which is to align, which we're going to go over in just a second. In terms of asking for the code you want, that's what you do. You actually ask, okay? So you simply, I'd like just to show you, right now, type out in the chat any desire that you have. So say, I want whatever. What do you want? What is it that you want? Any concern you have, you can also phrase it that way. What is something you want to get rid of? So any concern or desire that you have right now, go ahead and type it in the chat, and I'm going to help you formulate very simply how you would ask for a code to assist you in that. So go ahead, type it in now. Someone says ease with money. And someone says, I want a tidier house. I want to produce more of my creations. I want to cut the cord of attachment to my ex. Let me see here. Any concern or desire you have. As you write these out, sole custody of my older son, healing from past PTSD for both of us, wealth, building my business customer list. So these are all desires or concerns. I want a better job. And so you can see each of us, due to our life experiences, have desires and we have concerns. This is a natural part of being inspired into creation. Harmony inside and outside on every level. Perfect health and energy. To live in Europe 6 months a year financially able. Abundance in all areas. So awesome, guys. Keep them coming. And to formulate clear purpose for my life. Beautiful. Now, guys, you can see that each of these is a different vibrational asking. And so you're already asking for it due to your dissatisfaction with not having it, right? You see it? You see now contrast, how contrast is birthing your desire for expansion into what it is you desire. We're creators. We're here in this polar world to sift and sort and decide and choose and be inspired and to create due to that inspiration. If we didn't have contrast, none of us would be inspired to create. If you had everything that you ever wanted right at this moment and there was no journey for you, you would cease to exist because you would have absolutely no desire to create. You would be inspired to do nothing. And so ebbing and flowing as we expand in this spiral, it's not a 2-dimensional cycle of circle. It's a 5D and beyond that we can't even comprehend. In the best way, think about it as a 4D spiral of evolution. And all of these beautiful desires you have are propelling you towards alignment with what you want, thereby creating the new. And Linda says, I want to learn how to ask with ease. So good. All of this stuff that you've asked for vibrationally, when you want to find an assisting frequency for it, you simply ask. Is there an assisting frequency for highest good that will help me to have a tidier house? Is there an assisting frequency for highest good which is going to help me produce more of my creations? Is there an assisting frequency for highest good? To cut the cord of attachment to my ex, to get sole custody of my son, to heal from PTSD, to build my business customer list, to align with a better job, for harmony inside and out on every level, for health, for energy, for love, happiness, joy, transformation, ease, clear purpose, abundance, financial security, etc. Anything you want, you just ask, is there an assisting frequency for highest good, which will fill in the blank with your desire or concern? Through voicing this, the next step in using the Anahata codes to deliver to you what it is you want is to align with it, okay? So that's number 2 of how to use the law of attraction of energy medicine, align. Now again, this gets tricky with alignment, and thank God we have the Anahata codes because they already reside in the vibrational reality of which you seek. It is so. What you're led to, the thing that has a code attached to it that I've channeled, is your gateway to vibrationally aligning with what you seek while toning down the things that are holding you apart from reaching that destination. So the tricky part of not using codes is that you never align with what you want until it's already there. It's like a chicken before the egg. You're not going to get where you want to be unless you're a match to it before it's manifested. This is why I have that little map icon. You are here. Like, this is where you are. This is your reality. And chances are you don't have what you desire because it wouldn't be a desire otherwise. So how do you get there? You got to be a match in the absence of what you desire. You've got to vibrate at a level with your soul as if it's already yours. And then it will flow into your experience in a way that you can see, taste, touch, smell, feel. Again, this is easier said than done in our world of polarity because it's very easy for us to focus on not having as soon as we desire something. And to the point where some of us decide, I just won't have big dreams. Well, I'm sorry to say they're already there. And to tone down your desire is to fool yourself. You're just holding yourself in a further differentiation from the path of least resistance. You cannot stop your desires. The only choice you have is to get up to speed with them. So it's not about dreaming less or little because you're going to do so automatically. It's about allowing yourself to get up to speed with your desires gracefully, and you have support through the Anahata code. So with your mind to align, you've got to be satisfied now and excited for what's to come. Think of it this way. Anything you want in the world that you can conceive of, you only want it because you think you're going to feel better in having it. If you can think of something that doesn't ring true to, type it in the chat. I challenge you. Every single one of the things that you guys listed today that I read as a desire or a concern, it's because you think you're going to feel better when you have that thing or that circumstance or lack of the thing that you don't want. You are going to feel better, okay? So if we can resonate with feeling good, we've done our job. We've gotten aligned with what we're after. It's kind of like when you say, I'm excited to go on vacation, and you're planning, and it's super excited, you're super excited, and you're going to go, and you're thinking about it, and the joy is in the journey, right? It's not in the destination, because the destination is when you come home. So there'd be no point if you just skip it all together. Think about, I'm excited because of the journey of getting to where I'm going to be to experience the things I'm going to experience. it's often more satisfying than the actual manifestation because you are attuning yourself to the way you think you're going to feel when you receive it. But humans are also gifted with not having to have things in reality in order to experience them. And this is true on a biological level. Bruce Lipton has done a lot of work he has a book called The Biology of Belief, if you're interested, a book I read, and actually haven't even read the whole thing, but a lot of what he says resonates with me because he has scientifically reminded us and proven in multiple ways that it is our response to the environment which activates our dynamic gene expression, not our genes. What this means is it's our perception of our realities which orchestrates our biology, period. So two people can have the same thing happen to them, and each of them interpret it a different way, thereby activating a different response. So with the Anahata codes, you are going to be put into direct accessibility with the raw components of the things that are going to help you respond in a way that activates self-healing and alignment with what you desire. On a biological level, it is extraordinary. Just yesterday, this gal who hosted me on a summit that's airing today, actually, she had a headache. She, probably been overworked, and she loves what she's doing. There's just a lot going on, right? So she pulled a code for a headache, and within 15 minutes, it was gone. Now, how could that be, you may say? Well, duh, even pharmaceutical drugs are healing responses. It is impossible for you to have a healing response that is not self-orchestrated. Granted, pharmaceuticals are forced reactions through synthetic drugs which cause side effects, but guys, those drugs wouldn't even work unless there were receptors in your body to use them. What this means is every drug on the market today that has been synthetically made, your brain can already produce. So who's in charge of deciding what you're administering? Well, heck, if there's a code that's going to help you coordinate what you need to activate a healing response and it takes your headache away, that's pretty dang scientific. It is what it is. You're activating a healing response. So we are so much more powerful than we even can conceive that we are. We've been given such beautiful gifts of our anatomy and our energy layers and how they coordinate our responses and our abilities to carve matter. Okay, so be satisfied now and excited for what's to come. With your body to align, this can be achieved through focusing on what else is already vibrating at the frequency you desire to achieve. And you're going to see how this overlays with Anahata codes in just a second. And of course, the soul frequency for alignment, it is already so. So when you are being called to the path of least resistance, it's going to feel like an impulse. And guys, that is your grid filling in. You've got to make time for new, for miracles. So the impulses that bring you joy should be a priority. That's how you should arrange your day. Not based on outdated old lists of productivity, because inspired action from a place of now and being is infinitely more productive than chasing your tail around with a long list of to-do for the sake of doing. Okay? So try it. You'll like it. If I get an impulse, I drop everything and do it. Not only does it bring me more joy, which brings me into an alignment with the things that I'm seeking, because everything I'm seeking is for joy, right? It's just going to get me there quicker. It's the path of least resistance. Try it. You're going to love it. All right, guys. To align with the reality you want to experience on a vibrational level, using the Anahata codes, you pull a code. So we've already set the sacred space. We've already asked, is there an assisting frequency for highest good? Fill in the blank, any concern or desire. And then we pull a code. All right, let me take a sip of water, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. All right. When you download the Anahata codes, they are currently in a spreadsheet format. By the way, the entire modality is free at www.anahatacodes.com. So you go there, you fill out the form, you're redirected to a PDF guide, and there's a spreadsheet. When you open the spreadsheet, it's going to take you to the tab matrix, which is the first portion of the technology, of the software. And there are 27 categories and growing currently. Crystals, flower essences, love-based emotions, totem animals, herbs, colors, chakras, meridians, sacred geometry, literally dozens of other codes. Now, within each tab, which is a category, again, if you click on the crystal tab, there will be hundreds of codes within the crystal tab. So let's say your lower back hurts and you set the sacred space. Is there an assisting frequency to resolve my back pain? You would then choose a category. And guys, it's arranged in rows and columns so that you can easily be led to the row and column which holds the answer to what you desire by vibrationally resonating with the information you need to return to wholeness, the path of least resistance, the law of attraction, ask and you shall receive. So you choose a category, ABC, rows 1 through 8. And I teach you how to do this in the masterclass course, which I'm going to be inviting you to, because you do need to get your ego mind out of the mix. You just got to allow the category to come to you through the law of attraction. And this is where it gets super freaky, guys. Any one of my students can attest. Every time they pull a code, they're just in shock and awe that there are thousands of options, and their higher self led them straight to the one that would give them the most essence to shift. And you're like left just dumbfounded. It's crazy. I'll never forget there was one gal who rattled off about 12 things that were going wrong with her and that she wanted to change. And I thought, ooh, we're going to pull one code and this, okay, here we go. And it was a crystal that came up. And lo and behold, when we went to Google, which I'll teach you in a second, just to search what the heck is this crystal she chose, all 12 of her concerns were taken care of on this list of this crystal's ability to assist. And I'm going, holy cow. So again, each of the codes holds the raw components of the comprehensive definition of what that thing is that you then systematically, because you're already programmed for the path of least resistance, you're going to activate resonance remembrance. You're going to go, oh my gosh, this is what my body needs to balance and to expand and to align with what I need. And it is so. You have it after that. So the allow step is that you are led to the category of the codes which displays the specific varietal that holds the answer to your desires. And so essentially you're getting a quantum hack. You're tapping into virtual alignment by leveraging the thing in the universe that is already vibrating in the reality you desire. For example, if lemon essential oil assists you with depression, it's one of the things that lemon essential oil does, you may be guided to lemon essential oil. If you're asking is there an assisting frequency for my depression? And you get lemon essential oil and you're like, what does that mean? You look it up, okay? Google it. Healing qualities of lemon essential oil. What am I having access to? Or perhaps I'm giving you a few examples, experiencing inflammation in your joints, okay? And you may be guided to green calcite. Because why? When you look up green calcite, which is a crystal, it activates anti-inflammatory response. Awesome. And so align is the step where you look up the code you chose. What will you have access to? And then you install the code. All right? So you're aligning with the raw components, which are going to birth your experiencing the outcome you desire, because the thing that you are tapping into has already got that reality going for it. I hope that makes sense. It's an important part of the you're going to get huge ahas, right? What you're led to. What does it mean? And so I just Google it. For example, you ask for a code to help you with confidence, and you're guided to Cougar Totem Animal Medicine. And so you'd simply Google Cougar Totem Animal Medicine, and you would just come up. There would be tons of results. You choose which one you're drawn to, and you read about what you're going to have access to when you install the code for it, okay? So again, there is a code for any concern or desire, but it's not called whatever is wrong with you. It's not called what you desire, okay? We are not chasing symptoms. I'm not installing the frequency of cancer. I'm installing the key to you resolving and restoring back to wholeness, right? Activating a healing response. What has the ability to align you with what you desire on a vibrational level? So you can finally understand, hopefully, why I call this the law of attraction of energy medicine and its limitless potential in activating profound assistance through aligning with the frequencies which already exist in the reality you desire. P.S. You're already connected to it. How cool is that? This is why it's resonance remembrance. So once you ask and then you find the code, you research what it is, and then you install the code. I'm going to install 2 codes for us here in a minute. So we're going to go through that in a minute. But the third, I just realized I didn't update the numbers. So step 1 is ask. Step 2 is align. It says step 1. And step 3 is allow, not step 1. Ask, align, allow. Ask, align, allow. So we are on 3, even though it says 1. Allow. That is the final step, how to use the law of attraction of energy medicine. But here's the catch. And guys, this is the one that usually prevents our desires from being achieved. And that is that we're not allowing it, because we are too focused on the not having of it, okay? Even with spontaneous healing, often people go back into their patterns of disease because it can't be that simple. I lived with this my entire life. How could this have even, we talk ourselves out of wellness once again, okay? Instead of just accepting the new reality and vibration. So we've got to stop resisting what is already ours through focusing on vibrations that serve us. We've got to stop opposing our desires. And it does sound simple, but it requires with your mind to stop thinking the thoughts you can't stop thinking about. So it kind of takes a little while. The way to do it is, if you have a lot of momentum going with something, guys, surrender. Pull a code for surrender. Pull a code for distraction. Because, guys, if you've got a lot of momentum going, this is why affirmations don't work a lot of the time. If you are saying, I need abundance, I have no money in my bank account, and then you're looking in the mirror going, I'm a millionaire, I'm wealthy, you are actually affirming your lack, because your vibrations don't lie. If you are focusing in on trying to say what you think you should say when you have tons of momentum telling you otherwise, you are not being productive vibrationally. And at that point, you've got to go vague. You've got to get off of the train that's going 1,000 miles an hour in one direction. And to do that, you just surrender, okay? You don't want to try and slow things down to a halt, because certain things are already too real to ignore the realness. And in that case, you want to marinate in the highest vibration possible, which gets you moving in the better direction. And usually that takes going totally vague, getting off the subject of that entirely, and surrounding yourself with the vibrations which will be a match to getting you back on the path of least resistance. So we need to give up in some cases. We need to take a nap, meditate, go do something that really fills us with joy, and get less specific. Now, the soul already knows the path to this, called the path of least resistance, and it's always there. It's just how we get to it, which is the journey. Are we going to get there comfortably? Are we going to be satisfied in the now, joyfully awaiting every step? Or are we going to be out in the rough perimeter of pain and debris as this tornado of experience is swirling around us, where we can't stop focusing on the issues? Got to get to that center still point. Connecting with nature is a beautiful way. The codes can do that. They hold the essence that we need to remember to achieve that reality vibrationally and literally become the outcome we desire. Okay? So I call it resonance remembrance. You're already connected to everything, and discomfort is merely a vibrational cue that you are not taking the path of least resistance. You are not perceiving of what will be in the way that your soul already knows what will, because it is, if you allow. So, I teach you in the Masterclass series the sacred equation of how this all works. Your intention, you've decided you want something. You've asked. Your intention plus the code. Now, guys, the code is channeled by me. Numbers are the gateway to infinitely complex patterns in a very small amount of space. The spaces between the codes are just as important as the actual digits themselves. And it's more like a portal entryway. It's like having the key to unlock an aisle in the grocery store that you didn't even know existed. You're still connected to it. You just barely leverage it because it's not in your awareness until someone gives you a key and you open the door and you realize there's a whole other room that you haven't gone into. So your intention plus the code and your heart. Your heart is the portal that connects you to all things. This allows your energy and information to upgrade into the quantum essence of the thing that you were missing out on remembering. And this is where I just adore the way that whoever it was came up with the word healing. If you look at the root word of heal, it is return to the memory of wholeness. That's what all healing is, a return to the memory of wholeness. And that solves everything right there. There's nothing wrong with us. It's our lack of remembering that all is well that is the sole reason our energy isn't flowing. As we slow it down, it's resistance, it's fear, it's struggle, it's pushing against, it's not finding that center point of unconditional love. So we don't have time to get into how the codes work. I do teach the science behind the Anahata codes during the Masterclass series. But I want to tell you, the codes activate what I call the 7 tools of restoration. And as I say each one, I'm not going to describe what they are, you can imagine the significance as it pertains to remembering your wholeness. Okay, so here we go. These are the 7 tools of restoration, which are innately woven within each code because I made it so, because that was my intention. Okay? Reflect, release, rewire, replenish, resonate, reunite, and rejoice. So the 7 tools of restoration: reflecting, releasing, rewiring, replenishing, resonating, reuniting, and rejoicing your way back to your memory of wholeness. That is what the assisting frequencies do. All right, y'all, let's reiterate and then go to some code that we're going to install. I want to make sure everyone's still okay. Yes, we're asking questions in the chat room that I'll be explaining. So you just ask, align, and allow. All right? Is there an assisting frequency for highest good that will fill in the blank? Merely go to the row and column. And again, I teach you this during the masterclass series. There's also a guide at anahatacodes.com, ask, align, allow. So it's very, very simple. A little child can go within their heart space and focus on a desire that they want. Let's say it's a big candy bar that's going to fill them with joy and energy for 30 seconds. And they're like, what would align me with this? And they just go into the feeling of what they want. And then I ask them, what comes to you first? A, B, or C? They're going to just tell you B. And which number comes to you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8? 7. So they just chose B7 as the category. And again, if you open up the Anahata Codes, the first tab is the 27 categories arranged in a matrix, A, B, C, 1 through 8. So there's A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, B1, B2, etc., all the way through C8. Those are the categories. And once you choose one, that tells you which category holds the answer to your desire, to the alignment with what you need based on the law of attraction. Then you would just go to that category, and now we are on the last part, which is aligning and finding the actual row that defines the thing you need. This will all make sense in just a minute when we pull codes, okay? So you ask, align, allow, you install the code, your body already activates dynamic self-healing and evolutionary responses based on the quantum essence that it forgot it was connected to. Your intention plus the code, your heart portal, activates this resonance remembrance. So Anahata Codes to the resonance rescue, essentially. So the codes allow you to align with the vibrational components of what you desire in order to become a match to what you seek in its absence, thereby making it manifest. And that only makes sense. If you can't get there from where you are, you need to leverage something that will. How? Pull a code. Again, any concern or desire, health, wealth, bliss, love, relationships, passion. There is a code for that. Now, there are 2 ways to pull a code. And I do teach this in my master class. You can pull a code with your vibration or with your head. So you can either ask with your vibration or ask with your head. Asking with your vibration is far superior. Okay, because you're already doing this through the law of attraction, and sometimes it's hard to articulate what you are asking for. It's a complex blend, and even someone said they wanted to have a deeper clarity of asking. Well, you know, to be able to articulate that soup of request is often beyond the scope of anyone articulating. So this is why I recommend not using your head, and instead simply going with your vibrational asking, leading to it, okay? Again, column A, B, or C, row 1 through 8, and that's the category. So for example, if you chose A2, if A arose out of A, B, C, and 2 arose, in response to your vibrational focus of asking, that's the category. And that category happens to be crystals. You would go to the crystal category, which is hyperlinked, and you would then see how many rows have information on them. There are hundreds of crystals within the crystal code category. So you again frame it. You go within and you allow the row to emerge to through your consciousness based on your heart. And let's say you chose row 25, and then you go and it says amethyst. Well, now your job is to research, what is amethyst? What are the healing qualities of amethyst that I'm going to be able to unlock dynamic self-healing through without having to have it physically present, because I'm already connected to the raw components of what is amethyst in all its glory on the quantum field. And you dip in and out of that. This is where, again, you make some pretty profound progress and lasting transformation when you can reflect upon and then rewire your default responses that were contributing to your disease. So let's throw out an example. Let's say you have a headache and you are led to the flower essence category. And within the flower essence category, you are led to the row that says Ashley Michelle flower essence. And you'd be like, okay, what the heck is this thing and how can it help my headache? When you research Ashley Michelle flower essence, you would see that it assists people who are seeking spiritual development or wishing to know their purpose for being in physical form in this lifetime. So, because you asked for assistance with your headache and you received the antidote, Ashley Michelle flower essence, it only makes sense that you could conclude that you asked for it to relieve your headache because part of you is in resistance to your spiritual development. Does this make sense? So, very helpful in refining your chronic choices to make time for your spiritual growth, aka not have this manifestation of headache, because you know that not allowing this to happen has resulted in this physical pain in your head. Okay? So, can you see now that you probably wouldn't have gone, boy, all I'm missing in my life is a little Ashley Michelle flower essence. No, you would not have known that because you don't know. We're not chasing symptoms. We're getting to the root causes for profound and lasting resonance remembrance to not only allow you to reflect, but to rewire your responses based on the intelligence which you're calling forth to you. And guys, the ahas are just extraordinary. You're going to love it. And it happens every time. At first, when I started channeling these codes, I thought, I'm the only one who can do this. This is uncanny. Every time, I ask. The code that I get when I look up what it is, it's perfect. Well, no, everyone can do it. Everyone gets led to the code that they need. And it fills me with so much joy when people are like, I asked for this and I got this. Holy cow. And they're explaining how perfect it is. And it's just like, yes. Yes. So the other way to find a code is when you want to simply amplify something that's already good for you. Let's say you have breast cancer and you're considering black solve, for example, right? Well, there's an energetic equivalent of that on the quantum domain that hasn't manifested in physicality that you're connected to, and you go get the code. The head means that you're not going to perhaps find profound insights. You're literally, you know that this thing is what you need. For example, if you have a blocked sacral chakra, you can go straight to the chakra category and get the sacral chakra code. Or you could go get the color yellow because you know that that's associated with that, etc. So that's asking with your head. But I don't recommend you do that a lot because there's infinitely more productive and potent codes based on the law of attraction. For example, going straight to what you need, you won't really understand why your sacral chakra wasn't flowing properly in the first place. And if you ask for a code to heal your sacral chakra, and you're then led to, let's say, the fear-based emotion category, and within the fear-based emotion category, it takes you to lack of control, you would suddenly understand that your perception of lack of control was disempowering you and causing your sacral chakra to become diseased. And that, to me, is much more insightful to be able to reflect and rewire your response than it simply would have been to go to the sacral chakra code as we do in our pill-popping society. Something's wrong. We don't want this symptom. We get rid of it. But what about the work? What about the reforming of your underlying habitual emotional responses and your thought patterns, which are organizing matter? We got to get to that point for lasting healing. So there are two ways to pull a code: ask with your vibration, ask with your head. I recommend doing ask with your vibration. All right, so before we're going to install two codes here in a second, and then I'm going to open it up to Q&As. But before we do, I want to invite you to the Anahata Codes Masterclass series. It is a ride that never ends. I've taught this class 18 times over the last 3 years, 18 times. And I have students that have joined 18 times. Once you are in, you're in. You don't pay again. You have an all-access pass as I continue to evolve and expand upon the information I present in the classes. So keep that in mind. And why would you want to attend the Masterclass series? Well, it's going to allow you to remember and implement the tools you need to activate dynamic healing and evolutionary DNA for yourself and others. That's the cool part of the code. You can do this for others. Live a vibrant and full life. Empower yourself to choose joy. Harness the innate power of the universe to heal on all levels. Co-create the life you've always wanted. Heal your physical, mental, emotional pain. Release deep-seated insecurities, fears, trauma. Allow abundance, ease, and grace to flow. Step into your unique gifts and deploy them. And use the codes to facilitate transformation for others. Interestingly enough, everything I just listed was everything you already told me that you needed support with, right? So how do we do this? It is a 5-week course, and I teach you how to master the art of activating assisting frequencies in evolutionary DNA. I assist you in mastering setting sacred space, asking for the perfect code, pulling the perfect code, and installing it for yourself and others. You have a member center where everything is recorded. If you can't catch it live, you can get on the replay or join an upcoming live presentation or both. You're provided with forms to record the process, to maximize your integration. There are several bonuses, including how to program what I call carriers, water crystal oil, with codes for amplification. Think of that training as feng shui on crack, because you can literally ask water crystal or oil to hold a code for you, and it's going to emanate it out into its surroundings. Profound, when you can think, wow, I can program totem animal wolf and the color blue into this crystal and place it in this area of my environment to bring about these changes. Pretty incredible. So it is also a prerequisite for becoming a certified Anahata Code practitioner. So if you want to take the master class, all you're going to do is go to anahatamastery.com. You can click on this slide. It will open up a new browser right now. Remember, once you're in, you're in. Again, you have access to all upcoming presentations and advancements at no additional investment. So again, register by clicking on this slide or going to anahatamastery.com. Now, For the first 10 of you who join the Masterclass series today, I'm offering a brand new exclusive, which is a gift. And I'm super excited about it. Again, click on the slide, register, and you will, if you are among the first 10, you will receive the What to Ask For guide. So this is what to ask for health, wealth, love, and purpose. It's broken down into those 4 quadrants of happiness: health, wealth, love, purpose. And it's going to include questions that are going to allow you to pull codes for any concern or desire having to do with health, wealth, love, purpose. Okay? Now, we do spend time in the Masterclass series in the art of asking questions, which will bring you to the best code, etc. But this is essentially a cheat sheet of questions to ask based on the outcome we want. So we are going to pull I already pulled 2 codes for us. We're going to do that. Spoiler alert, it is about the full moon in Taurus, which is happening as we speak. The price of the Anahata Mastery course is $297 paid in full. And if you need a payment plan, you may do so for $55 a month. That's it, for 6 months. $55 per month for 6 months, and then you are paid in full, always having access to upcoming presentations of this 5-week series. So click on the slide. When we're done, register if you want to receive the bonus if you are among the first 10. All right, so that's enough about the Masterclass series. It is time to put the law of attraction of energy medicine into action, leveraging the cosmic alignments which are occurring as we speak. So I'm super excited about this tandem code. Again, something I teach you in the Masterclass is a pairing of 2 codes as a group and how to leverage that. But it is the Taurus full moon right now. In fact, it was an hour ago as we were in the middle of this presentation. And even if you are listening back to this presentation in replay, as I explain what these codes offer you, you will have access to activating these codes in the ways I explain, whether or not it is full moon in Taurus or not. So that's the coolest part about the law of attraction of energy medicine. It transcends physicality. You don't have to wait around for cosmic alignments. You can go get what you need now. So I'm excited because there's a huge potential to upgrade today and shift your life in extraordinary ways because of the full moon in Taurus. So we're going to install the code for full moon and for Taurus as a tandem. Now, these are both brand new codes. The Book of Codes is organic and evolving. I take requests based on needs, and I put them in a queue, and then I channel those that are requested if they are within the categories that I have. When I started the codes, there was 12 crystals, and that's it. And then, boom, I started channeling all the other 26 categories and growing. So, yes, there's a code for that, probably more than one. And you will activate the same code as someone else in a totally different way based on your needs. That's the other cool part. So as I go through this sequence of what these codes have to offer, you know that you're going to be able to dynamically activate this precisely as needed based on your needs. I did use the brain way to find the codes here because I knew that it was full moon and it was Taurus and that we were going to use that. So in this case, I did cherry pick and go straight to the codes that I wanted. As a side note, I am not an astrologist. So I just Googled full moon Taurus, and I was led to one of my favorite astrologists. Her name is Tanya Gabrielle. She has a YouTube channel. And I basically distilled what she had said as my own notes and then applied them to what we learned today, Law of Attraction of Energy Medicine, so that you can quickly see that this information is destined to have appeared at this precise time for your expansion. And it's very, very cool stuff because it's occurring right now. All right. So also keep in mind that all Anahata codes are the raw components of the energetic wave that they describe, meaning you're going to have access to the polarity of the same code, because remember what I said about the wave, it's a severity, but it's the same thing. Hot and cold are the same. It's just the severity. Meaning if something amplifies something you already have a lot of, you're actually going to use it to tone it down into balance. I hope that makes sense. There was a gal who kept saying, Anahata, I can't do it. Every time I ask for something, it's the complete opposite that I asked for. And I'm like, no, you're doing it perfectly. You are getting access to the raw components of the polarity you're facing in order to choose a different response. It's perfect. It also told me a lot about what she was focused on. So again, the entire definition. So here we go. The Anahata codes provide you access to the quantum field transcendent of matter. This goes into the building blocks that make things things. So these are the components which God used to craft the apple, to craft the river, to craft your body. Every hair on your head, the galaxy, the cells in your body, all is weaving divine intelligence organized in various ways which comprise the thing it ends up being, and we begin to interpret that wave signature as an apple, as a chair, as a sound, a word, etc. Okay? Right. So here we go. Taurus and full moon is all about new beginnings. So this is a square. There are a number of 1-degree nodes, which you don't need to know about, but it just means it ushers in new beginnings. So you are also going to experience increased connection and accessibility to Gaia, to Earth. And of course, that's going to be useful as you begin your journey to use the Anahata codes, which tap into all things we experience on our planet. So increased connection to Gaia and accessibility. You are going to have access to aligning your heart and health by listening to your dreams and taking the time you need to rest and incubate in order to receive inspiration and motivation. I touched on this earlier. Inspired action and the bliss moments that you are inspired to follow that's infinitely more productive than a long list of to-do. Got to make time for miracles, for newness, for being called as your grid fills in. Inspiration, motivation. You're also going to be inspired because the moon is conjunct Uranus right now, okay? And Uranus is the electrical planet. And of course, the moon rules emotions. I did a Facebook Live about that this morning. So now is the time to implement change and activate deep insights psychically. Okay, so this again is going to have you going within for the answers you seek and being able to see that lighted path to the most effective way to reach your goals. And when I heard that the moon was conjunct Uranus and that it was the electrical planet and that the moon rules emotions, that combination sounds a lot like Anahata codes to me, because it activates your inner knowing on what is needed to align with what you desire, the path of least resistance. Additionally, this is the other part of the quadrant. The sun is conjunct Venus, and Venus already rules Taurus, and the full moon is in Taurus. So when the sun is conjunct Venus, it's special. However, Venus is also retrograde right now. That simply means going within again. And it's further affirmation to opening the heart and leading with it rather than external focus on, logic or using systems that are already laid out to follow just because you're supposed to follow it. So it's time to clarify and purge in order to embrace your inner truth and to activate this alignment through this tandem code. The grand square, which is happening today, again, is Sun and Venus and Moon and Uranus. And all of the lunar nodes are 1%. Again, that means newness, but it also means destined newness. And guys, a square is the fourth dimensional solidity of manifestation. It is the most stable, solid, well, actually a triangle is the most stable, but there's 4 sides to that in 4D. So this is like you've been preparing for lifetimes to remember this information, and this is the moment you chose to do so. This is the point in which everything has come together. You suddenly have this vantage point to see the entire picture after having assembled various aspects from various points in your life and other lifetimes, all culminating into this destined moment in time, and it's super powerful. If that weren't enough, there is a financial abundance code woven into Taurus full moon. So this is external windfalls of money flowing to you if you allow that energetic probability, okay? Which means if you find yourself inspired to do something new or go to a new place or experience something on a whim, do it. Remember, your grid is filling in with divine inspiration. It's going to lead you into the path of abundance. But you have free will if you want to block that out. Of course, we don't want to, but our vibration speaks louder than words. So this code is going to allow you to light up your path in unexpected ways, making time for miracles to unveil, getting out of the illusion of lack of time or lack of resources. And this is going to allow you to center in love and satisfaction, center in timelessness and abundance. And it's exciting for me because when we install these codes, you are going to have access to the cosmic components of allowing yourself to dynamically activate all of this that is available. Again, no two people will activate the same code in the same way. It's your response to the information, which is the actual assisting frequency. I teach you that in the Masterclass series. But let's go ahead and install this code, and then we are going to open up the lines for Q&A and wrap up the presentation. So place your left palm up and your right hand on your heart. And I'm going to be speaking for all of us. You do not need to repeat the code. We ask for, align with, and allow this Anahata code. With gratitude, we activate the tandem assisting frequency for Taurus full moon. 17110895 3429 559 98201 171108 95 3429 559 98201 171108 95 3429 559 98201 171108 95 3429 559 98201 171108 95 3429 559 98201 171108 95 3429 559 98201 171108 95342 955 98201. Now put both hands on your heart and breathe with gratitude. It is so. Okay. That was awesome. Now, some of you will hear things, see things, feel things. Some of you won't at all. It does not matter. Your body is reunited with the raw components, which are going to dynamically orchestrate what comes to you starting now and in the days to follow. Be conscious of the things we just talked about: new beginnings, increased connection to Gaia, listening to dreams, receiving inspiration, motivation, implementing change via deep insight, the path lighting up, going within to clarify and purge, revealing your inner truth, destined divine inspiration, timelessness, limitless resources, and allowing miracles to unfold. Watch as this occurs. It's going to be so exciting. All right, guys, let's open it up for Q&A. The topics include the Anahata Codes Masterclass Series, how to pull a code or what you need, how the Anahata Codes technology works, and the tandem code we just pulled and installed, which is Taurus Full Moon. All of those topics are on the board. I'll go here to the chat room. You may also chat your questions out, or you may press *2 if you would like to be unmuted and speak. Up to you. Totally up to you. Lois, when do the classes start? I'm not going to say live because this is going to be in recording and I don't want it to prevent people from joining, because what happens is the series repeats over and over and over again. I do it live every few months. So if the upcoming times don't work for you, you can plan on the next cycle, but join now because you will have access to archives. So these are past classes. So it's very much an on-demand class that you take at your own pace and join in with the live classes as you can or are able or desire. All right? So I hope that makes sense. It is starting soon, and that is applicable for any time you hear this presentation. There is going to be an upcoming series starting soon. You are welcome, Tina. I'm so glad you joined. Let's see. What other questions? Is there going to be an upgrade on the code soon? Yes, Judy, my love. Long overdue. Yes, there's a big update coming out soon. Let's see. The link is not working. I don't know what you mean by that. But just type out www.anahatamastery.com and you will be taken to the registration page. Is there another free class she offers? I have hours upon hours of information on my website, but I do recommend you join a master class series. It's the best way to really cover and dive into fully the information that I am being tasked to deliver to you all. But yes, there are many. I am also on Facebook and YouTube. I'm starting my YouTube channel very soon, and the other way is my book's coming out. Everyone rolls their eyes and goes, sure, it's been a while, but it's coming soon. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. Raluka, yes, Trini, you first ask access for higher self of each of your children. For adults, it would be the same after you. Yeah, so if you're wanting to pull codes for other people, take the Masterclass series. I teach you how to do this in the Masterclass series. And guys, it's $55 a month for 6 months. It's affordable for anyone. So if you want to use this technology for others, absolutely join the class. If we install a code only for ourselves, do we say I or we? Renata, I say we. Absolutely. Always say we. You never know what's around you that may want to pull and leverage that information as well. And again, activation is a choice. There is no force. It is orchestrated precisely as you need it. So let's say you're installing a code and there's a moth that flies by and you needed that information. It's good to say we, or there's, a pet in the room, or there's a crystal that says, ooh, I could use that. Whatever thing needs to leverage that, they can take advantage of it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that will be it. Will you let us know when you update the codes? I will make a huge announcement. Absolutely. You're welcome, Sean. Great class. God bless. Thank you. What a revelation today. Thank you, Anahata. Always better to ask on behalf of, yes. For any code that we pull, do we research it and meditate on it? Chris, if you're in a rush, you may find the code you need and install it, but I would always go back and research, what is this thing I have asked for? Because in diving into the components of what the thing can deliver to you, it's wave after wave of insights that unlock and unravel the issue behind the thing that you were hoping to resolve in the first place. It is such a fulfilling, exciting journey when you ask and then you receive a code and you go look up what it means and you find that it, relates to all of these things that you had no idea were intertwined with the issue. For example, your right ankle is hurting and you're asking for something for pain, and you get this code and you look it up and, you find out that whatever you asked for has the ability to help people feel confident moving forward with their future path and all this stuff. You're going, oh my God, I had no idea that the manifestation of the lack of energy in my right ankle had to do with the fact that I'm scared to move forward in this part of my life. And by knowing that, you activate resonance remembrance on a profound level due to knowing what it is you asked for. So the long answer is absolutely. I would look it up. Negative emotion. It's not just about releasing it. This is where, sorry to say, the emotion code is extremely limiting. They teach you to release, and it's like, there's more to healing than letting go of something. It's about reflecting, releasing, rewiring, replenishing. You've got to have the energy to heal yourself if you're going to heal. The 7 tools of restoration are woven in. So if you pull a quote unquote negative emotion, it doesn't mean that you are releasing it. It means that you are pulling that emotion assisting frequency. So it's an anger assisting frequency. It's a doubt assisting frequency. It's a whatever the emotion is assisting frequency. It's going to be activated in dynamic ways based on your need. So for example, if you chose the anger assisting frequency, it's not going to make you angry. It's going to allow you to release anger that perhaps is suppressed, but it's also going to help you respond to the emotion of anger in ways that are for your highest good. Perhaps allowing anger in your life is what's needed, because at the moment you suppress it out and it becomes this big ball of energy that you carry around that's attracting all of these triggers because you're not integrating this beautiful reminder of the severity of on which you are. Anger is on the dense side of joy or happiness, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to find, I have this, I can't find it right now, but let's see if it's here. No, I don't see it. That's okay. There's a good reference that I wanted to, oh well, that's all right. Can't find it. It wasn't meant to be. So yeah, it's an assisting frequency. Based on the definition, you will have access to the polarity of it in entirety to activate dynamic self-healing and evolutionary support. Sean, trying PayPal payment, not happening. Well, Sean, not sure what's going on. Email me. I tested everything earlier and it was working. If you're having issues, it's something to do with your system. You know, I did test it. However, I see that you are trying, so I will count you among the first 10. You know, just email me, Sean. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. But we'll get it sorted out. Don't you worry. We'll get you enrolled, and you can be among the first 10. Let's see. Trinity, Gemini, I say we by default. Haha, Gemini, as you are a Gemini. That's funny. Great, Chris. I'm glad that makes sense. All right, guys, we are reaching the end. We are at the 2-hour marker. If anyone has more questions to ask, simply email me. My email address is anahatacodes@outlook.com. I will put it in the chat right here, anahatacodes@outlook.com. You may email me any questions you have. And I'm so glad you were able to make this event. I would like to leave you with a quote. If all healing is merely a return to the memory of wholeness, what better way to activate dynamic self-healing and evolution than to remember you're already literally connected to all things. So I encourage you all to join me for this 19th masterclass session that's coming up soon. The registration page is at anahatamastery.com. Again, if you're one of the first 10 to register, you know, it's less than a gym membership, and it can shift your entire life, mind, body, soul, and joyously lead you on the lighted path of least resistance through mastering the art of activating assisting frequencies and evolutionary DNA. It's always your choice. It's always my pleasure to be with you. Thank you for spending time with me today. It would be my honor to be your Sherpa in remembering more and cultivating the life you've always been dreaming of for yourself and for others. I can't wait for you to experience what is about to unfold through the codes that we just installed on your highest path. God bless you on that path, and thank you so much. Again, if you have any questions, just email me, and you are so welcome. God bless you all. You are loved. Bye-bye. We'll talk soon.